All right, welcome back to another episode of Spud Talks. I'm sorry it's been over 2 weeks since we last did this, Cody, right? I'm here with
Yeah, it's
Cody
been a while.
Holm, the creator and founder of Spud Token and SpudPay. Spud being on the Solana blockchain and SpudPay, a new business model. SpudPay is a business focused payment platform and financial account built on the Solana blockchain. On the surface, it looks and operates like a traditional business bank account. Businesses could accept card payments, send transfers, and manage their money through a clean app interface. Under the hood, however, it is powered by blockchain technology and the SPUDUSD stablecoin, which Spud is the first meme coin to launch its own stablecoin, Legendary, which is pegged a one-to-one to the US dollar and backed by US Treasury exposure. The core pitch is simple. SpudPay is crypto disguised as traditional finance. It is designed so that a business owner does not need to understand crypto at all to benefit from it. They just use it like a normal bank account and the technology does the rest. The problem it solves: traditional banks and payment processors have been extracting money from businesses for decades through a combination of high processing fees, junk monthly fees, and a settlement delay that benefits no one but the bank. Here is what the traditional system looks like for the average business, and we're going to talk about it. So, card processing rates, right? Traditional costs usually 3.2% to 3.8%, which is fucking crazy if you ask me. Equipment leases, $30 to $60 a month. Settlement time, 2 to 3 business days. So during that 2 to 3 day settlement window, the processor is holding the business's money and earning interest on it. The business sees none of that return. So how SpudPay fixes it? SpudPay attacks every one of those pain points simultaneously. So lower fees. SpudPay charges a flat 2.80% plus 20 cents per transaction with zero setup fees, zero monthly fees, zero PCI fees, zero statement fees, and zero equipment leases. For a business doing $75,000 a month in card volume, that translates to 520 saved per month, or about 6,200 per year, just on fees alone. Is that correct?
Yep, that's
That's
correct.
yeah,
And
that's
that would
wild.
be what you just said is a very small business. So as you can imagine, the number would be quite higher. Most retail, e-commerce or merchant companies that rely on that merchant machine, that they do a lot more than that. Average per month, you're talking 150,000 all the way up to 500, 800,000. So the savings can mount up very quickly.
And instant settlement. Instead of waiting 2 to 3 days, funds settle instantly. That's the
Yes.
one great thing about cryptocurrency. Funds settle instantly into the business SpudPay account in SpudUSD. The business has access to their money the moment the transaction clears. That's a man, like, it's so
Yeah.
exciting.
If people, and the business is doing this, they understand this very well. But to the people who don't understand that, most merchant accounts, when they accept a transaction, it takes 2 to 5 business days for that transaction to hit their bank account. And so
Right.
what SpudPay does is it takes that card transaction immediately and starts earning our Spud credits immediately into the reward system. So you have those funds immediately. There's no 2 to 3 to 5 day or whatever.
Right. So now I think the biggest selling point, which is why I think SpudPay pretty much pays itself, it's power to the people, but yield or rewards on day one. Like, this is the most revolutionary part. Every dollar sitting in a SpudPay account earns an average of 3% Treasury yield, the same return that banks have been quietly keeping for themselves. So on $75,000 in monthly volume, and this is small, like you said, that generates an extra $187 per month, or $2,250 per year in a complete passive income for the business owner. I can't wait to get my business signed up for this, dude. When
Yep.
is this
Yeah.
dropping? Are there any updates?
Uh, so SpudPay is built. It's done. Right now, we are running through the security phase. So we are having companies attack the website, trying to hack every possible aspect of it. Basically, it's a huge audit from security teams. It's a fintech audit, and we're not going to go any further with anything or go live until all of that's finished. We may be done with that this week, and we'll give some updates. But as to why we haven't had a podcast for 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it's been, but we've been really busy actually launching the site, and a lot of other things. We've had companies coming in left and right, signing up to use SpudPay as soon as it's live, which that's really exciting. We've a lot more hype than expected, a lot more volume than expected. But to the point we were talking about, I'm just going to give an example here, and I'm not going to use any names.
Okay.
I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, and I'm not trying to be. But I was invited to talk to or speak at an event here last week. It was a Kiwanis event. They have groups all over the country. It's just a group of business owners and leaders in the community get together once a month and have meetings, is what I understand. So I didn't know what to expect when I got in there, and I had the presentation for SpudPay. I had the app live so they could see it on the screen and everything. Well, there was an issue when I stood up there to give my presentation. A CFO of a bank was in the front row, a local bank, a very popular bank here in town, and I wasn't expecting that. Okay, I didn't know that, and I did apologize when I stood up there to him up front. I said I didn't know a bank would be here, and this pitch is kind of goes anti-bank, pretty bad. Yeah. So anyway, it got pretty combative, back and forth a few times, and it was fine. He was fine, but
was he debating with you?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. What was he saying? I'm curious to know.
No, he had some issues with yield, and we don't offer yield. We offer rewards, and all of the legal terms and the legal stuff with that, and how much we give back and all that. And it was a good debate. It was great to have, and it was great to have it in the public forum and for people to see. And but I will say, after our debates back and forth, everybody else kind of wanted to hear the rest of the pitch, so we moved on. After the whole deal was over, he come and talked to me, shook my hand, and said, "Yeah, I think you got something here for all the smaller companies." And I just kind of said, "Well, what do you mean smaller companies?" And he said, "Well, the big wealthy accounts, we share a little bit of yield with them, but not the small guys." And in my head, I was like, would you just repeat that again on camera? So I'm like, the whole point of me starting this is what the bank have done to small business owners and small companies. And I said, yeah, you're right. You do help out the wealthy, not as much as SpudPay does, because we give them more, but we give it to everyone. We do that Treasury share back to every person that signs up. We don't care how much money you roll through. As long as you're using the application, you get Spud credits, rewards back, no matter what. So anyway, I thought our first conversation here really, that's where it stems from, is helping small businesses, helping them give back, make money on their money, right? On their cost of goods, not on some savings account or some CD they have to leave in there for a year or 6 months or get a penalty if they pull it out. Right. This is their everyday money flowing, okay, through their bank account. And SpudPay can replace that bank completely. You get your own bank account number, routing account number, everything. So like on my invoices, my personal invoices for one of my companies I have now, on my invoices, my account and routing number are now changed to my SpudPay account. Mm-hmm. So when I get a wire transfer, for example, I just sold a backhoe the other day. This company sells used equipment, heavy equipment. And I sold a backhoe the other day, and he's going to send me a wire transfer. And because this is larger amounts, and most of my transactions are wires. Well, wires cost $40, 25 to 40, depending on your bank. So $25 to $40. Well, if he had SpudPay, this gentleman that bought this backhoe from me, it would be an instant transfer for 40 to 80% cheaper than the bank.
Right.
So, because anytime you're transferring fiat cash into a stable coin, vice versa, the other way around, there's going to be a fee there, but the fee is very minor. Compared to a traditional bank, it's not even close. And anyway, he was trying to get the backhoe this weekend, right? Well, the banks are shut down. He can't come get it because most people work Monday through Friday every day. But on the weekends, that's when they have time to come pick up a piece of equipment, buy a car, buy anything, any cost of goods, anything like that.
Right.
Well, with SpudPay, he would have been able to buy it on Saturday, hit that transfer button. I would have instantly had the funds immediately.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it does. SpudPay does replace a bank completely. Other than we don't do loans, so you still have to go and get a loan at a bank. As of right now, down the road, I think stable coins have that technology.
Okay, so for a lot of people watching, they've never heard of the term fintech before. Could you explain what that is?
Yes, fintech is traditional finance merged together with blockchain and stablecoins, instant payments. So that's what a fintech company is.
That's basically what you're just talking about.
Yep. It's and then that's how we built SpudPay is, we can teach people what blockchain is and teach people what cryptocurrencies are and stable coins and the difference and all that. But when they sign up for SpudPay, they can forget about all that. They don't need to know it because we hide all that in the background. And the front end is just traditional finance. Send a payment, receive a payment.
And that's what people's comfortable with, but on the back end, that's all where, the blockchain's happening. That's what makes it instant.
Yes. All of our transactions are on the Solana blockchain, the fastest and cheapest blockchain in the world. It's on the Solana blockchain. It's run by stable coins linked to the Treasury. That's how you're getting those rewards returned back to you. So yeah, all of that technical talk, I guess we hide in the background for a good reason too, because a lot of people don't understand that. And it's not that they're, they're misinformed or anything. It's just that technology isn't out there in the public. I mean, schools aren't teaching about this, right? Nobody's teaching about it, but we are. And it's moving into the economy so fast right now. For example, I don't know if I sent you this or not, but Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, the largest bank in the world, did an interview on Fox Business with that Maria lady.
Yeah.
He got so flustered, and this is all over the internet right now, but he got so flustered he was cursing on the interview because she asked him about the Clarity Act and what he thought about it. And he basically, you can go watch it for yourself, but basically he was like, no, it's garbage. They shouldn't be able to offer yield on stable coins, that. And she kind of pushed back just a little bit. And he said, nobody's going to follow that one guy, that evil guy on that company. And she goes, oh, you mean Coinbase and Brian Armstrong? And he says, yeah, that guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he's squirming that bad. And you know what's really funny in the background? They've already applied for their stable coin and their entire infrastructure for blockchain. They already have it. This is all it's a game that they're playing, but they are trying to shut down anything that would benefit and take away their bottom line profits. And that's how banks make their profit, off your deposits. That is how, and the fees, and they make a lot of money on those fees. They got billions of dollars in profits in fees.
Right.
So it's interesting, but the cool thing about fintech, blockchain, and stable coins coming into the economy is it eliminates that. It gives the power back to the people. And I know the banks are trying to stop that, but they're not going to stop it. Like fintech companies are already out there. SpudPay's already built. We're live, but we're technically not live. We're going to wait till our audit's done and all that. But it's done. And we have had just the outreach of people coming in and the meetings that I've had more meetings in the past 3 weeks than I've had in my entire life. Like it's exhausting. I'm working my ass off, and that's fine. I don't know anything else.
Listen, but as exciting and revolutionary as this is, I just want to say, be careful, Cody. Just be careful.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's assume that a portion of our audience are not farmers, right? But they got businesses. Is SpudPay pretty much eligible for any business, or do you have to be a farmer?
Any business.
Any business. It's great news.
So SpudPay, and we've actually white labeled SpudPay a few times already have commitments. And what that means is they're going to put SpudPay into their company with their label and their branding. So we do offer that service. Now, if someone just wants to, if some construction companies like we've got around here, they love the name SpudPay, right? We're in Idaho. So they don't even, most people that I've talked to, most companies don't care. They love the name. So that they'll just use it as it is. But we do have that feature to where if an industry, a specific industry, wants to white label SpudPay for themselves, we can absolutely do that. It would actually only take us probably 2 weeks to do it. And they would have a full payment system in their company's name.
And you got that guy doing it, Milton. You're a programmer.
Milton and Monocle is a company he works for. Okay. Great company. I mean, they've got some massive things coming, and they've been around the fintech and blockchain world for a long time. So yes, that's who we're partnered with as of right now.
All right. So I got a question for you. So SPUDUSD is pegged to the US dollar, right? It's backed by US Treasury.
Yep.
How is that peg maintained? And what happens in a black swan market event? What protects the business's holdings, like the holding funds in SpudPay exactly?
Well, so with stable coins, they are backed by the US Treasury and T-bills, but they're also backed with by a bank itself, by bank, like real bank accounts. So the flow of funds is actually there, right? And the liquidity. So SpudUSD's liquidity is backed by USDC's liquidity, which is the largest stablecoin in the United States. So as far as, is this just a startup and it's just a stablecoin that's brand new, no liquidity, and you're going to start running money through it? No, that we would absolutely never do that. We're backed by USDC, the largest in the country. We're backed by the best of the best. So this, as far as the security goes, I think we've talked about this before. I've probably, my bank account debit card, not credit, my debit cards have been hacked numerous times, probably over 13 times in the past year and a half. My crypto accounts, I've never been hacked ever in my entire life. 10, 12 years, never.
Same here.
So I know I get when people say that, oh, is it safe or whatever, but yeah, there's so many securities now. And like what we're doing, we've got security teams. We're going to have a full-time tech and security team hooked to SpudPay, which brings me to our next conversation here. We did open up our first round of funding. We're going to sell 10% equity of SpudPay. So 10% of the entire thing. Now we're strategically going to do that, and I won't get into all the details, but that extra funding, because this project has been self-funded by myself, but this extra funding gives us a massive war chest of tech and security support, which is number one for us. We have to have the best of the best in that world, because you're handling people's money, right? We want to be twice as secure as any local bank here in town. Which we've achieved that. But that's why the first round of funding is needed.
I see. So when did that happen?
Last week.
Okay, so that's fairly recent.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I didn't want to do it, to be honest. I wanted to control, 100% of SpudPay.
100. Yeah, I know. That's all we talked about.
So in Miami, I met with a lot of CEOs and a lot of big guys, right, that have started. They've been in the payment system world for 20 plus years. And every one of them told me the same thing. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to admit when you're wrong. But they told me, you're not going to own all this. There's no way. It's too big. It'll scale too fast. And you'll have to have just a war chest of technical support and customer service and all of that. And I tried to defy that a little bit and make it. And you know what? We could still launch, no problem. We're ready to roll without that funding. But the safe, wise move is to have that war chest there ready to go. Yeah. And so that's when we decided last week that, all right, we'll do one round, not two, just one.
Yeah.
10% will be the most that leaves. Yeah. And we're strategically picking who does that. I think it'll be somebody very large in the crypto world. So that'll really benefit us if we ever have any issues or want to scale a little bit more, maybe outside of what SpudPay does or whatever. If we just need help with any of that technology stuff, that they will be a true benefit to us.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so I know SpudPay has built, at least right now, a very strong sales rep compensation model. Do you see that expanding outside of your immediate sphere of influence at any point in SpudPay's evolution?
So as of right now, we've got a smaller sales team, you could say. I'm going to keep it that way for a while. The guys that are working for us, I mean, they will do very well. Like, it's the way we've structured that. It kind of is a win-win for everybody. The customer that signs up starts earning. The salesman that signed him up is earning. And there's 3 revenue streams. So it's a very successful model. It's a very profitable model. And it pays the customers. So not to mention the savings on the merchant side and the fee side and, all of that. So they're saving and they're making money at the same time, which is quite unique.
Right, absolutely, and I'm glad to be part of that team.
Well, we're glad to have you part of the team.
So all right, so I was under the impression that SpudPay was dropping yesterday. Where is it at now?
So it's the security thing is taking longer than we thought. The audit.
That's the most important part. Is that the last part of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Indeed.
So officially, SpudPay's built. I own the code, the technology, the software. It got handed over. It got handed over to me. So it's done. We own it. But like I said, rather be safe than sorry type of thing. It has to be perfect. We could go. I think we could launch now. We've got great. I mean, all the tests we've done so far we've passed 110%. Mm-hmm. But we have an outside third party company we want to come in and finish their audit, their security. So they just come in and attack the site. Like, they try and hack every aspect of it.
So that's good. That's good.
And you want that. You really 100%. Want that. So that's the reason it's not live yet. It's not. We're going to let them do their thing. And me, I've got so many customers ready to roll on this, and I just want to move it. I mean, we're going on the Farm for Profits podcast. I'm waiting for it to be live before I do that. So it's looking like next month. We just got invited onto the National Crypto Association, the NCA's podcast on June 5th.
Hell yeah.
And so that'll be, I mean, the exposure is insane. Like, I didn't ever expect it to grow this big, this fast. And I've actually had to slow down a little bit. Yeah. Because you like you said, that's why we had to go ahead and sell 10% of the company is I think it's going to scale at that rate. I think it's going to scale that fast. And then, you don't want to be in a funding round while you're scaling that fast.
Right.
You want to be ready. I've started numerous companies. I've made terrible mistakes, and then I've also been successful. So I'm hoping all those experiences that I've had are going to prove to be worth something on this, because I think we're doing it the right way. And the people that I have surrounded myself with are smarter than me, tech savvier than me. I mean, I'm just a farmer who, I've been in sales my whole life, but I'm just a dumb farmer. So the people that are surrounded by, that I've surrounded myself with are brilliant. I mean, we've got the best of the best. Our company stack is, I mean, I wouldn't choose any other company right now as we're growing.
Yeah. Right. That's awesome. Okay, so now before we get on the topic of crypto scams, because we know that there's a lot of it. There's a lot of fucking, bottom of the barrel people out there that just want to scam you for your money, and they give crypto a bad name.
Yeah.
Let's but before we get on that topic, I wanted to ask you about Spud's Solana token, right? The meme coin, the Idaho potato.
Yep.
What's going on with that? I remember speaking to you in the past about something, and something will be fed from SpudPay into Spud token. Is that true? And will that drive the price of Spud token up? Should people buy Spud token? We discussed that Spud token basically is the mascot, basically the face
Yeah.
of the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where people could invest, because they can't invest in SpudPay. SpudPay it's a tool that you use, like right? It's a business tool, so you can't physically put money into it. I mean, you could if you have a business, but then you'd be using it for a different purpose. It doesn't act like a
It's not an investment. It's a
Right.
you could call it an investment, but it's a banking app. It replaces your bank.
Right.
Spud Solana, so how it's going to benefit, and we've talked about this before a few times, and that model is going to stay. So how it's going to benefit, some of that Treasury earnings will go into Spud Solana's liquidity. And why am I doing that? Why would I do that? The answer is, when liquidity inside of a meme coin is extremely high, that's how strong the coin is. Those charts, when people sell or buy, it'll steady the chart out extremely. And the main benefit of having a large liquidity pool locked in, right? It's got to be locked.
Right.
Now all the large investors, it goes onto their radar. So when a large investor looking to invest into a cryptocurrency, they will put in those filters and see which filter, they're going to put a high market cap, high liquidity. They're not going to look at something that's really small. They're not going to invest in something unless they feel like gambling that day.
Right.
But with a really high liquidity pool for Spud, that it gives it all that security behind it. It gives
Right.
the liquidity is security. That's what it is.
100%.
Especially when it has to be locked. But so we're going to feed that right back into the liquidity pool until that liquidity pool is so damn strong that
Yeah.
it's just going to go up by itself. Like, all the big guys will come into that. If they're looking, they're going to find Spud. So
Yeah.
that is how SpudPay will benefit Spud Solana token.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
no,
could see.
we have 3 products. So we've got Spud, the Idaho Potato, that you
Right.
can buy on Coinbase, Phantom, any Solana-based wallet.
That's right.
And then we've got SpudUSD, which is our stable coin, which, again, like you said in the beginning, we are the first meme coin to launch a stable coin beside of it. The first. And then
It's unbelievable.
we have SpudPay, which is that's the real cream of the crop out of those 3. I would say at this point is, just because it's a real world utility asset, it can replace a bank immediately. Like, anybody can start using the agriculture, construction, any retail, any e-commerce.
Right.
I had one of my insurance companies. They are extremely excited to use SpudPay on their back end because they accept credit card payments, right? So they've got all their customers' cards, and it just renews every month. Well, SpudPay
Right.
can do that. It can take that card every month, but as soon as it takes that card, it's 30-40% cheaper than what they're paying now in their fees to accept that card, and then they start earning Spud credits immediately off the Treasury.
Right.
So they're just excited just to do that, and I've had some talks that I can't say who they're with, but we've got some upcoming talks that to be sponsors of ours, and kind of partner up with us that
Yeah.
will be quite large.
All right, so let me ask you kind of a difficult question. All right.
Sure.
So the stablecoin space is extremely competitive, right? We got Tether, we got USDC, we got DAI, and they got hundreds of billions in market cap. What is SpudUSD's specific niche, and why would a business choose SpudUSD over an established stablecoin?
Well, you're talking 2 different things here. SpudPay is a full stack payment system. Those are just stable coins. Like they're not a payment system. You would have to have an exchange, so you'd have to use
Built
Coinbase
around that coin,
right, to
right?
go
Built
around
around
that
that
whole
coin.
thing. There,
Right.
right? And so SpudUSD, our stable coin, is pegged to USDC. So we're using USDC's liquidity.
I see.
So,
I see.
but then we built a payment system around that. Okay, so the difference is, well, is there a difference between SpudUSD and those others? Absolutely. SpudUSD is a brand new stable coin, but we just pegged that to USDC. So we're actually using USDC as our infrastructure on the back end for liquidity reasons.
Are we dependent upon Solana? Because I know it's had like outages in the past and stuff and redundancies, you know, like does SpudPay like have built in to ensure like a business like never loses access to their funds or?
That's a good question. That's where SpudUSD, and this is why we built our own stablecoin. SpudUSD is on numerous chains, Ethereum, XRP or XRRPL, whatever it is. Poly. We're on numerous chains, so we can operate on any of those blockchains. So
wow.
But Solana's by far, I know we've talked about this before, in my opinion, is the best, hands down, for what we're doing. I'm not, as I know Ethereum has a different use case. You can build technology inside their blockchain, all that, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But we are a payment system. So we want those payment rails, the security rails, and the speed and the low fees. And that's Solana.
I see. Yeah. That's pretty promising, Cody. All right, so let's get right into this because I know you're short on time. You got a meeting coming up, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to a town in Blackfoot. It's about 30 minutes away from where I'm at to meet with Blackfoot, Idaho. Yeah, nice. To meet with a few large construction companies that are very excited about using SpudPay.
That is exciting. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, and this is Paul's contact, so we got to give a shout out to Paul.
Yeah, shout out to Paul.
That's
Where
right.
you at, Paul? He was on the last episode. It's been 2 weeks now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
got to
so
get Billy on here too.
Yeah, anytime. All right, so there is a lot of scams in the crypto world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if we haven't been scammed, we know somebody who has. We've been rug pulled. I've been rug pulled before, you know.
Hundreds of
not you know, like not a huge amount, but still it sucks to lose money in the crypto community, especially now these meme coins. And you told me recently that something is happening in the crypto world where you got to like, I don't know, you have to be like registered or something now if you're going to drop a meme coin, and so it kind of ensures you that they can't rug pull or something.
Yeah.
How do you go about? Let me just ask you this: how do you go about doing your research when you're finding a new crypto project to know whether or not it's legitimate?
So I haven't invested in, well, I would say gamble in the meme coin world for a little while, but I used to a lot for years, right?
Yeah.
I like to gamble, so, and I do think that if you're going to go into Pump Fund or, you know, Phantom on those sites and look for coins that are brand new, and I mean, there's a brand new coin that pops out every second. So if you're going into that world, you need to be kind of savvy on what to look for. Is their liquidity locked? Is their coin mutable or freezable, or, you know, can they make more? There's just a lot of things you need to watch for. So if you're kind of savvy to that, you can figure out, okay, I can throw a little bit of money in here, make 20% and pull out. The problem is learning how to do that. Is, you can imagine how many times I've been rug pulled, but that's how you learn, you know, right? You figure out which projects are real. So in the aspect of all of that, in the Clarity Act that's coming out, they're going to require a KYC AML process, know your business process. So just like SpudPay, when you sign up for SpudPay, you have to go through our KYC process. You have to be a legit business. You can't just sign up and start using it, right? Because then you might have some fraud or some bad characters there. So what's kind of cool coming up is even in Pump Fund or these other places, they're going to be required to do a KYC process. That, in my opinion, will eliminate 99.9% of the projects. And it'll just eliminate that fraud.
Wow. That's so what? There's no more gambling now, or not?
well, Americans love to gamble, so
yeah,
maybe there will be some back ways of doing that. I don't know.
Yeah,
who knows what will happen? But it in the rules and regulations, it will require everybody to do a KYC AML process to
Right.
launch a coin.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I see.
I like it. I think it's good because, I mean, it would just make them legit because they'd have to have a real business and real use cases. I assume. I don't know. It's not out yet, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be exciting because now you're investing in stuff that's real, the real backing. And I mean, there's not very many meme coins that have real backing, right? You know,
No.
what meme coin has a full stack payment system built on it or a stable coin?
Hold on. Let me think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None. Zero. Just one.
Yep.
So
Let alone be a real project,
Yeah.
like real world utility, like Sino.
yeah, I mean, it's tough to find those, and then to have one that has a payment processing company built on it that's going to actually benefit the actual meme coin. It's a unique business model
Yes.
for sure.
100%.
And one thing I think with and the merchant stuff was kind of an afterthought. The cards, the tap to pay, replacing those merchant machines.
Yes.
For example, like an auto parts store or a convenience store, whatever, it can replace it. I think that's great, and we're seeing a lot of excitement in those types of companies wanting to sign up and use it.
Yeah.
But for me, I think would be just awesome. Just trying to think of how to put this. Let's say you're a farmer walking through his fields on his phone, and he sold, I'm just throwing some numbers out, he sold a stack or two of hay or some straw or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the phone with the guy that owes him money, right? Well, he can take a card payment. When has a farmer out in the middle of nowhere been able to take a card payment on his phone or on his laptop or tablet or whatever
Right.
and get instantly paid?
I have no fucking idea.
That's like, for me, I think, yeah, I understand the merchant side. It's going to replace, like a auto parts store. It'll replace their merchant machine and their back end payment and their bank account. That's great.
Right,
But
right,
as a
right.
farmer, because that's what my roots are. You go back to that. I mean, how cool is that you could be walking through your field now? A farmer can take credit cards, debit cards.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unique, and maybe they won't use that feature as much as the other companies. They probably won't, but
Right.
just to have that option
That's pretty badass.
is
Yeah.
quite unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Agreed. All right, how much time do we got left? Because there was something I want to talk to you about, but we could always save it for this week. I think we should make another episode this week if you want to.
I've got. Let me see. I've got about 5 more minutes I could do.
5 more minutes?
Oh no!
All right.
No! I've got 20 more minutes.
You got 20 minutes.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So, as you know, recently, Ryan Sino and the Sino project, we were invited onto another tokens nominations, right? Basically, I don't know a lot about them. They're called Solana. And I guess what they do is they nominate different coins on the Solana blockchain to see if they're, worthy enough, to win something. Or all I know is that you have to buy like $500 worth of their token. And I remember looking up their chart. I think they're at like 34 cents or whatever. Ryan was nominated, and they ended up picking some other token like that one out of like 70. I forgot how many contestants there were, but we got 73 votes, and the one that won was 74 votes. It was honestly some shit coin with no utility, like no real world use or anything. I can't even remember the name of it. Harry Podner or something, Ryan was saying. They won over us, and then they wanted us to do it again. And I'm not sure if they were asking Ryan for money. Ryan did put in some money to it, but I don't know. Have you heard anything about Solana?
Yeah, they've reached out to me to be on there. I politely declined.
Oh, really?
If I'm going to get involved in something, especially with Spud or SpudPay, we're a legit organization, like legit, and we're adding other aspects and organizations into SpudPay, LLCs, S corps, the whole deal. So looking into Solana, it looks like the founder has been kind of a fraudster for a while, um, for a long time. I'll let people look into that if they want. But if someone's going to reach out to me, I'm going to dig into them. And yeah, it's in my opinion, it's a full-on scam. Like I wouldn't go near that. It's I do think it'll be a rug pull. Anybody charging a tax on a meme coin is instant red flag. Get the hell out. That's my opinion. But I don't want to control anybody's opinion on another meme coin. And I'm not out here trying to talk bad on people. I'm just doing the research. I mean, you can just do a simple Google search on who owns it and who runs it. There's a couple of them, and that's what I did. So I respectfully declined, and I do. The gentleman who is trying to get me to join Solana, he's a great guy. He's a big owner in Spud, so there's no disrespect there to him whatsoever. And we talked about that. And he said the same thing. I think he's a little new to crypto, and you know, when you're new to crypto, these
Overly optimistic.
yeah, these meme coins pop out, and you know, AI did a good job of giving them a description of what their coin does. In my opinion, their coin does absolutely nothing. They're just trying to get legit projects to come on there, and I mean, you have to have $500 worth of their coin anyway. It's a no for me, for sure. So I'm trying to get people away from rug pulls and that kind of stuff into legit coins. So if it's a garbage thing, I'm gonna say something about it.
Yeah, that's pretty revealing. I think Ryan was getting the same feelings about it. Because I guess that I don't know anything. I don't know the guy personally or anything. I don't know what they do. But how could a meme coin project that looks so legit on the outside be a scam?
Well, that's a tough question because there's a lot of meme coins that have gone pretty far. I mean, you know, there's coins that are, you know, black whale coin or butt coin.
What's that? Yeah.
Just they're garbage, but I mean they hit like, you know, 500, 600, 700 million market cap just off hype. But then now they're at, you know, you can go look at them now for yourself, see where they're at. But it's the whole aspect of gambling. People love it. You know, they love it. And you know what? A lot of people pulled and made money on them, and a lot of people lost. So it's playing blackjack. You know, it's a fun time if you're going to want to be in that world. But here's what I don't want. I don't want the real projects associated with that world. That's the gamble world. And I'm not talking bad about it. I like to gamble. But they're not one of the same. These are legit projects, which are very few, versus, you know, just hype meme coins. They're just trying to get to a certain point to rug pull,
Right.
and then move on and start another one and start another one. The cool thing about Solana, and all these coins are on Solana, is that guys who know how to run Solana, the blockchain, SolScan, we can go see what coins they've started in the past and what they've done with those coins in the past. See, a lot of people jumping in don't know how to do that.
Wait,
but anyway,
so anytime somebody makes their own coin on the Solana blockchain, you have to like verify your identity so you could go back and see that kind of information? Is that how it works?
Once a coin is minted, it's there for life. You can't get rid of it.
Minted.
So, yeah. So you can see how many coins they have created because their wallet is attached to it. Their CA, their contract address is attached to it forever.
Okay, I see.
So you can go soul scan their contract address and it will give you the entire history of what coin they've started, what they've done with that coin. You can dig into the coin itself and see where it's at, all of that. So it's interesting, but I'm not trying to, you know, put anybody down or anything. I just did my own research and that's what I came up with.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to have a little chat with Ryan.
Yeah, and I mean I don't know how much you want to share this, but I can share a little bit of this info, and you can decide if you want to share it or not. But
Please do.
So there is a couple guys involved in that. One of them is David Track. He first appeared on the MLM's radar as a founder of Prepay CPA in 11. And then in 19, he was senior VP of tripe and MLM pyramid scheme with an illegal unregistered stock offering. He pivoted to crypto fraud with BitLow City in 2020 and Tectum. I know Tectum's a fraud. And Mark Ross and David Trax are together on Solana. So that research is public. I'm not making this up. You can, I mean, it's right here. So if you want to dig into, I mean, if someone's going to come at me and say, we want to partner up with you or whatever they're offering, of course I'm going to dig into them.
Yeah,
and
that's what you found.
That's what I found. So I'm just relaying that information out there. I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to take anybody down or whatever, but if you're in Solana, get the hell out, buy Spud and Sino. Get out. Yeah. That's my opinion. I can have an opinion if someone's got a problem with it.
Yeah.
Piss off. I don't care. But yeah, get out of those scams. Get out of Solana. I don't know what more to say about that. Just do your own research and be careful.
Indeed. All right. Well, that's very revealing to me. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
You know, because I think I'm still kind of new to crypto. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm learning as I go along. I never knew about the Solana blockchain. I just always knew about Bitcoin and Ethereum and like Dogecoin, like anything that kind of hits the mainstream media.
Mainstream.
Yep. You know, when I downloaded Phantom Wallet and met Ryan and he came up with Sino token, I started looking more into it and even developing my own coin, you know, and then I met you and you're like a crypto nerd and, you know, I'm learning a lot from you. So,
well, when you come out here in July, we're going to sit down and just go through everything I know. I'm just going to pass all that to you. So,
all right.
It'll be good.
Hell yeah, we should document that. I want to make a whole like documentary about coming out there, how you do it out there, like, you know, what the lifestyle's like, and, you know, maybe like follow you around with the camera and, you know, get some interactions and how you've been spreading the word of SpudPay and how you go about making deals, and I think it'll be cool. Yeah,
and by then we should be really just rolling, so that'll be a great time for you to come out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be
exciting times. Coming busy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this. I think this summer, I remember. All right. So I don't eat Chinese food, but my family goes to like a Chinese buffet like every Christmas for some reason. I think it's really weird, but I went anyway just for family time. And I got a fortune cookie. I didn't eat the fortune cookie. I just cracked the fortune open, and it said August will bring you financial security. And I keep that in my wallet. And, you know, with everything going on between SpudPay and Sino and just where I'm at personally in my own business endeavors, and which I'm going to sign my business up to SpudPay as soon as it drops, I just have a good feeling.
It's good.
I have a really good feeling.
It should be a good feeling. I mean, you know, you're putting it out there to the universe. All I could say is, you know, in my opinion, I hope this doesn't bother people, but you know, I follow God and worship Jesus. That's what I do. I actually do that. I didn't used to, but I do now. And that's kind of changed the route I go. And it's kind of helped me. It's kind of guided me in certain directions. So,
amen, brother. Me too.
That's the way I go. I know you're not supposed to get religious on stuff like that, but I'm actually not religious. I just do those two things.
Well, I actually think you don't even have to be religious to follow or believe in Jesus.
Don't have to be a part of any religious.
I don't even consider myself religious. I'd say I was spiritual. I'm very open-minded.
Yeah.
I believe in the message of Christ. You know, the message of Christ is love.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. Yep. And I feel like, you know, if we just keep on that path, you know, in our business
frequency. Yeah, because God wants us to live abundant lives. God wants us to live abundant lives. That's what I believe.
Freedom. I just want
absolutely.
Freedom.
Financial freedom. And the people that run this world are evil. Like, I'll just say it, like, straight up. Like, the people that run...
You mean like that clown, Jamie Dimon, or JP Morgan?
And that other guy, Bill Gates? Like,
I'm not a fan of the banks. You know that. I've been on all the podcasts. But that guy, I don't want to speak bad about people, but I will on him. Because he's not a good dude. He's trying to do some shady stuff.
Shady shit.
I mean, he funded Mr. Jeffrey Epstein himself. That's public record. You can look that up.
Really?
Absolutely, it is. He gave him over $200 million. And
wait, we're talking about JP Morgan?
Yep. JP Morgan Chase. Like if you are banking at JP Morgan Chase, like if you hold your money in there, you should probably think about that just a little bit. Like what are you doing? Like anyway, that's just my 10 cents on JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, honestly.
I hope
but
so.
Now that we're talking about the elites, you want to keep talking shit because I kind of like this topic.
We better not. We're gonna get in trouble. We'll just start seeing some red dots come through my window here.
Just so everybody knows, Cody is not suicidal. I just have to put that out there.
No, I'm not. Well, no, I think that's all the updates, unless you got something else. But yeah, we're close. We're like I said, SpudPay is built. It's done. We're just going through the audits right now, so we can make sure everybody's experience is perfect and secure.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. We're about 50 minutes in. We made it an hour, a lot longer than I thought we'd have, actually. So, yeah, I think we could wrap this up. Let me get this posted on the YouTube channel and start working on shorts to put out to the audience. And
perfect.
Yeah, let me know if you want to do another podcast this week, if you have any other updates that you want to talk about. If not, we could wait till next week. And
Yep. Yeah,
right.
we'll keep in touch. And anybody watching the podcast, if you have questions, follow us on all the social medias. We try to keep it pretty updated. We got some demo videos out there now that are pretty cool. And you can always reach out to me. If you're a business thinking, hey, I want to partake in that and benefit from SpudPay, just hit me up, send me a message on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever. We're on all of them. I will respond.
And that's what's cool and legit about this, is that you and Ryan are the only token creators in crypto that are putting their fucking face out there. Who else is doing that?
Nobody's doing that. No.
That's how you know it's legit.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that make not a lot of people. Actually, I've only seen one that makes bad comments on our podcast YouTube thing. There's only one on there that once in a while he pops up and says we're a scam. And I've offered, I don't know who it is, but I've offered him numerous times. I've told him in a private message, I say, hey, you can call me, text me, whatever. I can, if you think we're a scam, you can,
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'll have a conversation about it.
No, they can't though.
I think they're from Nigeria. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, they're probably just they want it to be a scam maybe or something. I don't know.
I think they bought in low and sold out, and then they didn't get back in. So
yeah, now they're pissed.
Yeah, we have a few guys like that.
Word. All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Spud Talks. I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, keep subscribe to all the social media channels, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Comment if you have any questions. Reach out to Cody on his Facebook or TikTok, wherever, Instagram, and I'll be sure to link all the socials in the description also as well. But yeah, stay tuned for next week. We'll have some updates, and when SpudPay drops, y'all better be holding some Spud token, because I know I am.
Yes, sir.